Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel, The Spiritual Justice Channel. I'm Goddess Quita, or you can call me Quita. Either one would do. I answer to both. I started to make this video like a couple of days ago because people take my action or inaction or lack of communication for something different, so something negative, and I get it. If you don't communicate, then you don't really know how someone thinks or feels. So this message is about my twin flame. I know everybody and their mama been in our business, been in our journey with us, and my twin indirectly does things. I understand his perspective, and I love him. I would never stop loving that man. I would never stop praying for that person, especially if that person wants deliverance and wants to be healed. But I do not tolerate disrespect. I do not tolerate sneaky and lies. I do not tolerate that stuff, and it's not directed at anyone. Even the person that he's connected to, that he says that he's not, or however that situation goes, however they want to go, I don't even fault her. They like to call them the karmatics. I just think there are people that's lost and growing each time that I do. I just feel like both of them are lost and growing, and at this point in my journey, I know what God has for me. I know I am healing, and I've healed past a lot of different things. Even on my twin flame journey, I outgrew him. It's stuff in within our soul that he can pick up if he chooses, but he has to want to see those things and want to heal those things, and a lot of times that requires leaving social media. That requires not making money at a certain point in time, or just really going in the dungeons in the wilderness and seeking God's face for it. It requires. I had a lot of seasons, I had a lot of times that I couldn't even post on social media. I couldn't even read a Bible because God wanted me so close to him, and I thank God for that, because the more and the more I grow with my psychic gifts, with my prophetic gifts, is the more that I'm closer to God, and I become I vibrated so high that I'm off that spiral, that he's still on that wave that he's still on. Yes, he's still the other half of my soul, but we're on two different wavelengths. And people say, oh, they mirror each other. We're not mirroring each other no more. I put it on my social media. I put it on that I do not resonate as a twin flame anymore. I do not get me wrong. He is still the other half of my soul. I cannot resonate with him because we're not on the same wavelength. I took what God told me to do, and I healed, and I continue to heal. Even on my journey, my spirit guides, my angels would come and tell me, that, hey, you're healing so fast, so rapidly. We didn't know that you was going to do this. Hold on, wait a minute. Like, don't you want to? And then, excuse me, I'm trying to get my daughter to be quiet. Sorry, you guys. But even my spirit guides is like, you did this so rapidly, like, because once I start healing, I'm like, oh yes, I'm on this journey. And it's not, no offense to him, that I want to be with someone that's in alignment with my wavelength. It's not that he has to want. If you don't want to do the work, God don't care who you are. If you haven't done the work, God don't care who you are. You actually have to put in that work. Just because I'm the other half of his soul, or we share the same soul, does not mean that he do not have to go through the karma and stuff. I had to go through all my stuff. You better repent and ask God to not let your karma be so hard on you. And a lot of times God is not even being hard on us. It's ourselves that can't forgive ourselves. It's us that can't forgive ourselves. So at the end of the day, I said that to say this, that my lack of communication with my twin flame, my lack of interacting with him is not in I'm mad at him. I'm mad at him for sleeping with somebody. I can never. We're not in a relationship in the 3D. We're not. We're in maybe a friendship and a recognition of who we are in the spiritual realm, but we have not touched down in the 3D where I can be mad at him for doing something with somebody else. That's what people mistake me at. I'm not mad at him at all. When you're healing, I understand it. You relapse, you go back to the things that you have to. So it's just like It's just like you've been riding a bike for so long, and then you try to ride roller skates. You're gonna like try to like, okay, you gonna try to like pedal, and then you like, no, I'm on rollerblades. You have to remember. So you have to go back and remember why that thing hurts you. You have to go back and find another truth. Like, oh, I don't. And there's no shot at the young lady or the people that he's messing with, because again, that is not my journey. That's not my pain. That's not my hurt. That's his. Even though we share the same soul, we do not share the same body. We do not share the same lessons. That's why one person is higher, one person is an earth twin. And I don't like to say lower or higher, but one person is an earth twin and one person is like the more higher twin, the more spiritual twin. And this is why, because we go through the same lessons, but in a different way. And I cannot progress him into his calling. He has to want that. He has to want to stop seeking social media. He has to, because God already showed me what he needs to do. So do not. And when the person knows what they're supposed to be doing, going within and doing this, and then you pour all that, and they still not getting it, it's time for you to let go and let God. I did what God told me to do. So if I want to move on to someone else, God already let me know I am blessed to do so. But I am honestly not looking for a partner. If God sent it to me, he sends it to me. But if he doesn't, he doesn't. At this point, I like my peace. I like this celibate. I like being celibate. I like being. Excuse me, you guys. She's getting loud. Excuse me. I like being celibate, you guys. I like my peace. And if somebody is not at peace to my life, I don't care who you are. You're not going to bring your drama into my life and into my kids' life because you fail to do the lessons, you fail to do the work, or you don't recognize God's voice when he's speaking to you. I cannot do that type of work for you. That is someone, you have to sit down and really seek God. And if you're constantly on social media, you're constantly in somebody's face, or somebody's constantly in your bed, your energy is being polluted by everybody else's energy but the Most High. You have to be single for a while. You have to go within and be in the wilderness for a while, especially if you have high level traumas. You have to. And if someone is not doing this and they're always looking for other people on this spiritual journey, you can go and other people can't help you, but it's at a point on your journey that you have to it's just if you want to be spiritually leveled up or spiritually elevated, you have to you have to be by yourself for a while. That's just the way it is. And I honestly say I have mastered that, and I'm laughing because my life is literally, I'm in a new place. I don't know really nobody. I speak to people like, hey, and they're all constantly talking to me, but I have no need to socialize. And it's not because I am anti-social. It's because I'm building a business. I'm building a legacy. I'm pointing to God's people. And once you get into your spiritual divine calling, you will see a lot of different ways that you can feel your life. And it doesn't have to be with people, but you still can help people. And I know, because for a fact, because of the way that I am, I know it's only going to be one or two people who's able to come into my life and really I'm talking about like in a close environment, almost like family, friend. You're going to really have to be high vibrational, or like you're going to have to be somebody that can speak to my soul or spirit. And I'm not talking about just romantically. It could be platonic. It could be a sister in the spiritual body. It could be a brother in the spiritual body. It could be very platonic. I'm not talking about romantically. And I know I'm very protective of my energy because I know where I came from. I poured into so many people. I was around so many people, and once I got from around these people, I became the best version of me. And I'm not losing myself to anyone no more to pour into anyone. I'm not losing myself to pour into anyone that's not willing to do the work. Now, you willing to do the work, then you can come on my channel and watch the videos. If you willing to do the work and you really want my help and you really want to be in my life, you can email me. We can have phone conversations. We can do these different things, but you have to be willing to do the work. You don't indirectly contact me. You don't indirectly do things if you're really honest. Indirectness is a sign of some kind of secrecy, and I don't do indirect-ish. I just don't do indirect-ish. At the end of the day, it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. If you don't agree with what I'm going through, that's on you, but I know where I come from and I know what I want. And if God say he's my kingdom husband, that's fine, but kingdom husband have to put in the work. That just because you have the potential of being my kingdom husband don't mean you automatically qualify. There are other willing people. They said we have 7 soulmates in a lifetime. I've been with 5 of my soulmates, and all of them taught me lessons and taught me how to grow. But my twin flame radically grew me. That relationship with, I couldn't say he did, I should say the relationship with him triggered me to rapidly grow. So would I ever stop loving him? Probably never. But do I actively want to be with him? Not while he's healing. Not why he's able to be a hindrance to the kingdom of God, the work that God is building within me. No, because anybody that can indirectly do things to you, you're not honest. You're not even being honest with yourself. I deal with indirectness, but if you want to be in my immediate circle, indirectness is not my communication. That's not my love language. And you have to, and I'm a very private person. I don't put my stuff all out there so everybody can see. Despite the popular belief about me, I am not that person. I can date a person for 10 years and nobody never know I even dated that person. That's just how I operate, and I love being that way simply because it cuts out a lot of chaos out your relationships, out of your problems. And I'm not the type of person that have to meet your mom and them and all that. And it's not because I'm being secretive. It's just a lot of people, family, have drama, and then they tend to bring the mate into the drama. I done been through it all. I don't want none of that. I know it's not, people are not perfect, but you have to be willing to try, and you have to have boundaries. And if you like boundaries, because that's where I come from, I'm not going to be partnered up with somebody that likes boundaries. I don't care who you are. I honestly don't. I'm not going to partner up with you because, oh, you need me. Okay, you need me, but that is going to be a strict relationship where I'm helping to heal. It's nothing friendship, it's nothing romantic about it. It's not like I'm trying to fit you into my family. It's that I'm trying to help you heal and be an inspiration to you and a guide to you. Other than that, see, I know how to compartmentalize very well. That's what people don't understand about me too. That's how I know how to place people, because when people come in my life, a lot of people have come in my life, I'm like, I learned this from, so why is they doing this? I understand that people can be one thing that you need, but not everything that you need. So I understand, okay, this person is good at this, and this all this person wants from me. They're not wanting long term for me. They're not wanting, because they're being very indirect with me. I understand how to compartmentalize people, and I understand if somebody wants to be whole with me, I'm willing to be whole and authentic. But most people have not met themselves whole, and that's just what it is. It's not because I'm a narcissist or I'm trying to tear apart people. That's how people operate in this world. That's how most people is. They are very they have not met themselves wholly like I have met myself wholly. I have met myself wholly, whole, as a whole, complete individual. I accept my flaws and alls. People talk about they do, but they really don't, because look how they treat themselves. If you can run, this is just from my perspective, you can run and sleep with anybody and everything, you're not my type of person, because to me you lack respect. I come from that, you know what I mean, where I would just let people run over me, and I was never like promiscuous in a way where I'm sleeping with a lot of people, but I was a dater, a serial dater. I like to be in relationships, and I had a point in my life when I was younger where I went from relationship to relationship. I'm not that anymore. I'm not that. So for me to go back is insane. For me to allow somebody in my life that's this way is insane. And if you're willing to change, you got to prove that. You can't be on social media blasting our business, looking for all this attention. And I usually don't date cute men. Because they a lot of men think they're cuter than women, and it's just like, yo, I have been, the last relationship I was in, I tried to change my windshield wipers and fix my vehicle, and he was supposed to try to help me. I knew more than what he knew. I fixed my own windshield wiper. Everything I did for him, and it's just like, what? Like, he brought nothing to the relationship but his wand. He brought in his talk. That's all he brought to the relationship, and it's just like, it was not even the bare minimum. So I refuse to go back to where I come from. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't even the bare minimum. It was a wong and a tongue. That's it. And I hate to say that, but I was the one that's always giving. I was the one that was always here, spiritual advice, this and that. When I needed this person did not believe in me. When I needed my ex, that person was trying to control me. When I needed my ex, that person, you know what I mean, was trying to be everything that was not aligned with what a relationship was. So for me to go back and date that same person or try to be in a relationship and build kingdom magic with that same spirit, I refuse to. I don't care who don't like it and who think I'm wrong or right. Seek God about it. God already told me which way to go. That's why I'm looking like, y'all be like, oh, she made a mistake. No, I was talking to him. I was letting him know, look, this and this and this and this. Like, I want people to be delivered. It's too much information out there for me to be in a toxic relationship. I refuse. And that's the standard I hold myself to. Not necessarily what I hold this person to. That's my boundary. As you can see, that's my boundary. That's who I hold myself to. I don't hold him to that standard. But I know what I want from a partner. And if you don't align with that, I don't care who. God don't care who you are. God do not want me to regress or to be stagnant because somebody refused to grow when they had the chance. And now you gotta play catch up, so you go ahead and play catch up. Like when you was having fun and doing all that stuff, I was healing and growing. I don't have to play catch up with nobody. I can just go find somebody on my wavelength if I choose to. But I did not choose to do that. I like being alone. I like being celibate. It's sort of selfish, but I like being in this energy of this self-love energy, this selfishness that's pouring into me. And I'm not really selfish because I pour into God people. I give a lot of knowledge. I go through a lot of warfare and I give a lot of nuggets, and I do a lot. So it's not selfish. It's just I'm protecting my personal boundaries when it comes to relationships, because that's the area I had struggles in, my finance and relationships. And I refuse to go back and be with somebody just because, oh, they got a lot of money, they cute, they famous. That don't appease me, not even a little bit. Those kind of things do not appease me. It's your character. It's your relationship with God. It's how you handle situations. When you're upset with me, are you gonna go blast it on social media? Or are you gonna sit down and talk to me as a man and a woman? Are you gonna be my partner, or are you gonna be my enemy? Because a lot of people be in relationships that they're in a relationship with enemies, and I was one of those persons. I was in a relationship with somebody that was my enemy, and because you have to understand, when somebody's your enemy, they're an enemy to themselves. He was an enemy to his own self, and I could give a list of reasons how I could prove this, but I'm not here to blast him like that. But you have to understand and I understand what's going on. A lot of people don't fully understand because they feel sorry for him. I feel sorry and compassion for him every day, and I fight myself every day not to go save him because that's what I want to do, honestly. But I understand what God is doing. If I go save him, he's not going to grow. If I'm always constantly there for him, he's not going to grow. That's why he looks to people in social media and his fans to do what they need to do. Oh, we got you. Cool, that's what you want to do. Cool, but that's not what God has put in my heart and my life to do. I want better for myself, and I refuse to hinder anybody that needs to grow. And especially if God giving me a direct roadmap of what this person needs, I'm going to sit down and shut up. I'm going to do what I need to do. But by no means necessary. Me and him are not in a 3D relationship. He can never cheat on me because we're not in a 3D relationship. That's what people fail to realize. When he do something against his soul, it's an act against his own soul, and he has to ask himself, why am I doing this? Why? A lot of times we be going back to touch the soul to see if it's still hot. and it was still hot, and that's why you will regret your decisions instead of regretting, like, oh, I ain't doing that no more. And it's a process, and I understand that it's a process for him. I get that's a process for him. That's why I give the information and I go about my business, because it's a process. It's not something that I have to sit there and baby. I'm not his mother. I am not his mother. Okay, I give information and I go do what I need to do. If I decide to move on to God has blessed me, then I can go find another partner, because it takes time to heal from the things that he's been through. It takes time, and I'm not willing to sit down and just wait on him and be his. No, he has enough for y'all to do that for him. I don't. He doesn't need that. That's not what he needs. God will give you what you need in your life, and God told me, I see how it goes. God let me give. God is ordaining me to give him just what he needs, a dose of me here and there, because he don't really know how to treat love in his life, because simply he hasn't truly been loved unconditionally. If you only been loved in a sexual way, you have not truly been loved unconditionally. And to love unconditionally, I don't have to touch him sexually to love him unconditionally. That's what people, oh, you say he's already a part of my, he's already the other half of my soul. I do not have to touch him in a 3D to prove that to anyone, because that's not what this thing is about. It's about God. It's about growing and ascending into the person that you need to be, coming out of these slavery concepts, coming out of your trauma, coming out of this. After then, we can put a title on there. You can say, okay, let's be friends, because let's be honest, I'm not finna date, just hop in the bed with somebody, hop in a relationship with somebody just so I can have sex. No, like, what? Everybody want to talk about sexual healing energy, but if you don't have a healing soul and you haven't healed anything, how's it? You just exchanging demons and spirits and trauma. Like, don't play with me. I can go deeper and deeper with this. Do not play with me. Do not play with me when it comes to that, because I can go deeper. God showed me so many different things when people come at me. Do you understand, from the gifts that I have, it's so much information that pour in, because there's so many people that's in me and my twin flame relationship, it's pathetic. Like, I hear a lot of different things. I hear a lot of different thoughts. Oh, she gonna take him back. I would never take someone back that isn't willing to do the work, or can't even recognize the voice of God when God is speaking to them. I was in a season where I had to get through all the witchcraft, all the stuff that was spoken on my life. In my life, I had to get through all these different things. And even though it wasn't me not willing to hear the voice of God, I was searching. I had to learn through the witchcraft, through the witchery, through the tactics of the enemy, to still hear God's voice. And you think that you're not going to have to go through that when you're in the kingdom of God, when you're living righteous, so-called righteousness. I live authentically. So, at the end of the day, a lot of people don't understand me, because I'm very eclectic. I can pull God from everything. That's really what you're supposed to be. But a lot of people haven't made it there yet, and I'm okay with that. But a lot of people judge me for that, and I'm okay with that too. It's just, it identifies that this person hasn't expanded that part of their soul, a part of their mind yet, so they're willing to judge because they don't understand it. And once they pick at my truths and do it, and then they grow and expand. I get it. I was there. I was that person too. Like, I'm not gonna shoot you down because you are where I used to be. I'm not. I want you to understand that God is in everything. That's why he said, if you see God, God is in the whole universe. You have to be willing to see him. And just like that, God's voice is in the whole universe. I get so many different downloads and stuff from people. God will take me, I ask for something, and God will take me to a secular person. That's why people are like, oh, you shouldn't listen to secular music. If you're not strong enough, then, by all means, don't listen to it. But I'm strong enough. A lot of stuff that I go through, people purposely do certain witchcraft for me to listen to certain stuff so they can attack me spiritually. Circular music, once you have control of your what you eat, what you think, and your genitalia, you're basically in control of everything you watch, and then God can minister to you. A lot of people send, like, this young lady and this young man was sending me spell word to be gay. I have never been a day in my life. I have gay best friends. They have tried me. I had gay people around me. I had a gay friend, like, when I was in Job Corps. People have tried me. people have done different, and before I got into this part of my spiritual journey, I have been tried and tested. I do not like no one else's vagina but mine. That's just what it is. I don't. Sorry, that was just sure. But I do not like anyone else. And then they send the spell work at me, and I'm just like, nice try. Nice, because when you know who you are in Christ, that's why God said you have to know who you are. I know who I am. I do not. I have not want to ever be with a woman in a sexual experience. Now, that not being said, I don't like women. It's just like if I see somebody, I'm like, oh, you cute, you look nice. I'm not fighting with you. You actually look nice, and that's the first thing. Oh, boom, it's done. Don't go no farther. Have I been approached by other women? Yes, other women are very attracted to me, but I just, my preference is men, and personally, I don't, even with people that's transgender, I don't, you have to be born with that thing, with the wand. That's just who I am as an individual, and people take my not willingness to partake in these different things as I'm homophobic or I'm like gay people, or I have not. Most of my friends have been gay. Only one friend that I had that wasn't gay. Most of my friends are always, I had one friend that wasn't gay. The rest of them were all gay or bisexual. And I love those type of people, but do I participate in what they do? No, I don't. I have never. I never will. I was molested. I was sexually assaulted by another woman when I was young, like 18, 19, and I still don't. I threw up on her. I know for a fact that I am not attracted to other women. I know for a fact that I am not in this trend to be gay or bisexual. It's just not built for me. That's not who I am, and I will really, as a straight, loving woman, say, please stop with the gay spell work. It's just not working. Please just stop. I'm not that. Trust me, I've been in Job Corps where it was 80% of the dormitory that was gay. They tried to hold me down in a room and make me. It took them, and it did not work. I screamed. I told them I would scream, and we will all get in trouble, and they stopped. So please do not come for me that way. That's just not gonna work. I am solid in my sexuality. I know who I am sexually. I know for a fact who I am. It doesn't matter. So yeah. Another thing about me, I would never be jealous of any woman my twin flame deal with. You know why? Because it's a trick of the enemy. If you are like competing with me because you slept with him, you got it. You won. Big dog, you got it. You won. You got that. I have never, and yeah, I'm not mad at you. Go. I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to be on that. That's cool. You want to be all up over there on him in his life. I do not try to control that. I have no control over what this young man do. That's on him. That's on you. Do you understand? I'm at a place in my life where I understand what God is doing with my twin flame union, and I'm at a place in my life where I'm not jealous of anyone or anything. I'm already a part of his soul. 9 times out of 10, when you sleep with him, I already know. When he won't and feeling, I know because we share the same soul. And he may not be as eclectic, not eclectic, that's not the word. He may not be as prominent in his gifts as he should be because he haven't done the work. You have to clean out your trauma in order to be this telepathic. And you get what I'm saying? So he might not be able to peer in my life like that, or he might be. I don't know. But I know. So at the end of the day, please, you guys, I don't care if he's with other women. Don't send me she made a song about him, or she writing her poetry, or he with this one. I honestly don't care. I care about his soul being saved. I care about the enemy releasing his crutches off of him, his tactics. I care about his deliverance. I care about him in that way. That other superficial, yeah. You got his money, cool. You got his child, double cool. You sleep with him on the regular, cool. He pay you, cool. That's all, y'all. You got to understand, I'm already living my life. I'm living my life and have to deal with that part of myself. I had to recognize a lot of things that happened in my life. It was because of my twins. I was dreaming about getting up, pulled over by the police. I'm like, look, it's like I could see. I was sitting in the car and the police, I was by some mountains or something, by some bushes, and the police was walking up to the car. I have these episodes where I see these things. So, do you understand that when we get together, or if we ever get together in this lifetime, that's going to be double? And do you understand how self-control you have to be if your partner is not all the way healed? I'm not ready for that. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not ready for that connection. I thought I was, but I'm not really ready for that. I like being by myself. I don't mind it, and if I find a partner, that's okay too. Because you have to be able to endure all these different levels of the twin flame union. A lot of people don't actually know what it's meant to be a twin flame. What it's like to have your soul on the same planet, the other part of your soul on the same planet as you, let alone in the same country as you. That's why we're so far apart, because you can tell that we're not ready to be in union together. We are in union in the 5D. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it that way. In the 3D, I just don't think he's not healed enough to be with me. He's just not. It is not a disrespect to him or a lack of. I just know where my journey is. And so for people like, oh, you should pray for him. I've been, since I found out about him, I've been praying for him. Oh, you should forgive him. Hey, when the young lady, they showed me the song, and the young lady that made the song about him, I prayed for her too. I prayed for her deliverance too. I prayed that, because that dynamic, I see what's going on over there. That's his karma for whatever he did. He got to deal with that. I don't have to deal with her. I don't have children with her. I understand how to separate the spiritual from the 3D, and a lot of y'all don't. A lot of y'all don't understand that's what God is doing. Separate the spiritual from the 3D. I understand it. We're in a union in the 5D, and I am so okay with that. And in the 3D, we're not, and I'm okay with that. Do I want to be in union with him? Yes, but he has to be healed. I do not want to be with an unhealed person. You have to be healed enough to be able to control your emotions, your genitalia, not just what you eat and what you think. You have to be able to control those 4 things. If you can, then you can most of the time hear the word of God, hear the voice of God, and see the tricks of the enemy. But if you cannot do those things, you guys, yes, sex can be very healing. But who are you having sex with? And what y'all trying to hear, is you doing it purposely, or because at the end of the day, you just swapping demons and spirits. You're not really healing. You're having sex. You're making an excuse to have sex, to swap spirits, because it's a different spirit. And then like once you be like, why am I doing this? Because you picked up that person's spirit, and that person picked up your spirit. So that person gonna act out your traumas, and now you finna act out this person's traumas. No, thank you. I don't want to act out nobody's trauma. I want to be me. I just want to be me. And most people, let's be honest, they do not talk about what happened to them in their childhood. They do not have that dialogue with the universe, with the Most High, as they should. They just don't, and they haven't cleaned them out. They haven't healed anything. I can flow through my energies really well simply because I chose to heal. People are like, how she can do this? They call me a chameleon. No, I've been there. I can resonate with you at that point because I used to be there, but I'm not there no more. It's not fake. It's just that I used to be there. I'm very understanding and empathetic, but when I disconnect from you, understand that that's a boundary, because I don't want to go back to where I come from. And people don't understand me on that level, and I get it. Now that I explain it to you, you should get it. Because he slept with his ass. He's supposed, that's a part of the healing process. I get that. It's like they want to pit us against each other all the time. I am not against him. I am not, how can I say it? I'm not in competition with any woman for him, and I'm not against him in any way, shape, form, or fashion. However, I will say this: any man or woman that he sleeps with, and if you feel like you have some kind of authority over him, that's between you and him. You do not have to subliminally send that to me. You do not have to. You like that. I'm trying to move on. I'm trying to, just stay in my lane and mind my business. And you sending me your business over here, but then you gonna tell me to mind my business. And that's not very nice, because I wasn't studying you in the first. I wasn't studying you in the first place. And if I so happen to get a download about you, we share the same soul. I'm not actively on what he doing or what he at in the tarot. I don't care. That's his journey. I give him that spot, but if I get tapped in and God say, hey, you need to see this, oh, I'm going to warn him, hey, God say this and that, and then I'm going to let it be. I'm going to let it go. Another thing is doing spell work to get me back. That's not going to work. That's going to make me like, I feel like if you really want somebody, at this point, if my twin flame don't make effort to call, text, write, or email, at this point, it don't take all this social media, it don't take all these songs, it don't take all this music, it don't take all of that. It really doesn't. It don't take all of that. It just take a genuine person's like, hey, I'm sorry, I put you through a lot. Hey, I'm sorry, I never met you, but like, I get it. Hey, I'm sorry, this and that. And I would do the same. If I hurt him, if he feel like I've done something to hurt him, if that actually is a reasonable cause, like actually that I've done, not just made up, I will apologize. I have no problem with that. I'm not a person that is above apologizing, especially if I did you wrong, or if you feel like I done you something. I'm gonna like, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't know why you feel that way, but that's not what my intentions. That wasn't what I was trying to do. And people fail to realize that's who I am because they're so wrapped up in the social media. They're so wrapped up in his words, what he's going through, this and that. I'm not. I see what he's going through. I see what you guys don't understand that I know his intentions when you think I don't. I see what he got planned when you think I don't. I see it. So, and I feel it. So why would I entertain BS? Why would I go against God and still pursue a relationship with an unhealed person? I will be your friend if anything, but I will not sit there and be in your way of healing, of growth. I would not. And sex can be very healing. You can heal through sex, but somebody gotta want to. If I know, I'm not gonna put my life on the line to be, because there's too much stuff out there. Let's be honest. It's not only HIV, it's hepatitis B, all that stuff. And I don't have any of those things. I don't have anything, and I like being clean. I don't have to. The only thing I want to look over my shoulder for is the food I eat. I need to pay more attention to that than a disease that I didn't have to get if I was just doing what the Most High told me to do. You get what I'm saying? So, and that's being celibate. That's what he got me at, and I love being in this energy. I do not want to move on to nobody that's going to cause me drama, that's got baby mama over here, baby mama over there, a nigga over here, a nigga over there, over this, and I got to worry about. I don't want none of that. That's too much. You too expensive for me. That's too expensive. It's just too much for me. And you can say, oh, that's too much. You don't have to deal with. I done deal with a lot of that. A lot of that. That's what I'm coming from. So why would I go back to it? Only a dog go back to their vomit, and I'm not a dog, so why would I go back to my vomit? It's just not going to happen. No matter how much people, oh, she wrong, oh, she this. I can be wrong, I can be right. But what I will not do is renege or do anything that offends my soul, that offends me to be, even if God, that's why God in the Bible says, if your right hand offends you, cut it off. He was talking about it in so many different ways. My twin not healing, being in a relationship, that's gonna offend my soul. So why would I not cut it off before it happens? I'm gonna make sure I don't get that disease before it comes my way. Now, if I'm strong enough to be in a relationship with him, yes. But do I have to tolerate the different things that he's doing? No. So why put myself in that predicament? It makes no sense to me. It's not logical. Okay, so now if my twin comes and say, and he get off this social media and telling everybody his business and get off doing all these things, and he just have a simple conversation, want to be a human being and not a martyr, or not this grand seeking for attention, I'm cool with that. I'll sit down and talk to you, but I can't promise you anything. So that being said, you guys, I wish anybody that's dealing with him healing. I wish anybody that he put through any type of trauma healing. I really do. And I wish that people who have this Leviathan spirit, I pray, I wish that you see that you need deliverance and you ask God for that deliverance, because that's the only thing that I don't pray. If you have the Leviathan spirit, the Bible, the Most High said you cannot pray for those people. You have to let them people see themselves and know that something is wrong with them so they can repent. They have to choose that because they think it's their voice. They think it's them. So why would I? Why? Like, y'all make no sense to me. Like, I give nuggets and people still take off what I say and they're, oh, she's a hypocrite. No, I'm not. I am eclectic. I believe in everything and everyone. God is in everything and everyone. And if when I can't see God in you, then I know that you're a reprobated soul. And that right there, God will deal with you with that. So all I have to say is, y'all be easy with what you see what going on in 3D. Y'all be easy. So many people are caught up in my twin flame relationship, in my journey, that you're off your course. You're not paying attention to what you, or even if you're into my journey of my twin flame relationship, maybe you should pull something out and not the negative stuff. Maybe you should pull the positive stuff. Might look at, oh, dang, she's standing away from him, because I am. It takes a strong person. I really do love him. I really do want to be in a 3D relationship. I really do want to save him. But you cannot save nobody. They have to save themselves. So actually, it's taken a lot of strength in me to come to this point and this realization of this is what's going on. Can you just, oh, she's really strong. That's, I never hear that. Oh, she's a really strong individual, because I know that, well, you guys don't truly understand it, but I am strong in that department, because I could go save him and heal him. But am I really healing him, or am I putting a band-aid on him, or am I hindering him? You have to simply do the work for yourself. God don't care who you are. He has no respect to a person. He just don't. When it comes to especially healing, that's the whole point of repentance. That's the whole point of this whole journey, is to ascend. And if you're not putting in the work to do that, then how are you supposed to ascend? It's just like expecting money that you haven't worked for, that you had put no effort, no time, no energy into it, but you expect it. How? You guys, this has been a little long, lengthy video, and longer than I usually do. So I'm just gonna let this go, and I just hope you guys understand where I'm coming from, and just let my twin flame relationship, let it be what it is, and just let it be. It's not meant to be the way you want it to be. It's not meant the way I want it to be, because if it was what I wanted to be, we all would be happy. So you guys just stay prayed up, stay discerning, stay being intuitive, and keep the devil on his toes. Peace.